The first time we got Paxton to say go, it was like, oh my gosh, his eyes got big. He got so excited. And it's like, I have some control over something.
Here's this little kid who has super low muscle tone. Paxton didn't walk till he was 3, and he's never gonna be a professional athlete. He's never gonna play regular T-ball, but he gets to sit up there and like feel powerful on something big. And it's really special.
So HETRA started back in 1989, and we work with adults and children of all ability levels, using horses as a unique form of therapy or therapeutic activity. In a single 30-minute session, the horse will take about 2,500 steps. That's 2,500 repetitions of a movement that we're seeing with an individual that may not be taking steps on their own.
Paxton was born with something called Prader-Willi syndrome. So he's missing a tiny piece of his 15th chromosome, but that affects a whole bunch of bodily functions and systems, from low muscle tone, delayed cognitive ability, delayed gross motor, fine motor skills, speech skills, all those types of things. So Paxton's really been in therapy since birth, essentially.
Yeah, since we brought him home. We had 2 typical kids before, like the milestones and like the check marks.
Right.
And that was not obviously going to be our reality with Paxton. And so there were a lot of like hard moments, like is he ever gonna drink a full bottle by himself? Is he ever gonna lift up his, it took 7 months for him to just lift his head off of the ground for tummy time.
The initial evaluation was done in here, and a lot of that evaluation was done either on the mat or on the floor. He was able to take some steps, but when he was stepping, we had 2 people holding on to him, both of them using both of their hands to support his arms and right under his shoulders.
In the beginning, when we started there, like he was 2, and it was so hard to picture him ever walking. He could barely crawl at that point, and like we would carry him to the little stoop thing to set him on the horse.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's never gonna walk.
He wasn't even really making sounds or talking. And I remember the very first lesson, they got him on the horse, and he was just like babbling away. We were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Gradually, as he started to develop some core muscles and some thigh muscles, you could see him starting to get some confidence in himself. And that is where I think the personality started to blossom.
He loved to walk towards the mirror and wave at himself. And when he was waving with both hands, that showed us how well his trunk strengthening had gotten.
So the horse's pelvis and our pelvis is very similar. Our pelvis moves in 3 different planes. The horse's pelvis moves in 3 different planes. And so we're really able to give our participants feedback up from the horse through their entire body. We're able to affect their neurological system as a result of that.
The horse's dynamic movement, their rotation and lateral rotation, and all of that's happening so fast. In just that 30-minute time frame, they're able to strengthen, stretch, work on proximal stability, working on postural control.
They just know what they're doing there. It's unbelievable. And like he would sit forward, and then they turn him and he would sit backwards on the horse, working different muscle groups, or eventually he would lay down like sideways on the horse. It was honestly like one of the best decisions we made when it came to therapy for Paxton.
100%.
He always knows, like we remind him in the morning, like, what you gonna go do today? And he's like, I get like Dodo, because his horse's name is Waldo, and he has a hard time saying that, so he calls him Dodo, and he actually calls all horses Dodo now. But he's always so excited.
He's doing better in his balance and walking and doing activities at home, such as putting on his socks and shoes.
And that's what makes it so amazing, that they take things that they learn here and are able to put that to use in their regular life.
He's grown tremendously in the 2 years I've been working with him. Those kids count on you, and I count on those kids. Because you really become very attached. Very, very attached.
We have our saying, changing lives one stride at a time, and that is our ultimate goal every day.
Every day, like I'd get him out of the car, like I'd carry his little body in there, and now like he just full on sprints.
But he's got his arms going.
Oh, he's moving, like the whole body's moving, and like he's running like full speed for Paxton down the hallway because he knows what he gets to go do.